Hi, I'm Graham Robertson and have been the CFO of Rabbie since January 2023. My role at Rabbie is fairly typical from what you'd expect from a CFO of an SME. I've got responsibility for all things finance and finance related. I was aware of AI and its emerging potential to really make a difference in the business world, if you like. I'm probably aware of exactly what everybody else is aware of in terms of AI and finance. The bit I was struggling with was probably a little bit of my own internal fear about what it all meant. I really couldn't get a grasp of what it meant day to day. So you can go to networking events, you can speak to professionals, you can speak to people who put it into use all of the time. But I've not met anybody who was able to break it down to what it meant for us day to day. And every company I talked to about it in terms of implementing it had been larger businesses than us. So how did I make it real for us, an SME in Scotland? Rabbie's is way more complex than it probably first appears in terms of the data that we have, the decisions that they've made and the speed at which we need to make those decisions. So how we use our data to make agile decisions around tours to run, pricing on those tours to capture demand is massively important for us. And this is where AI is going to really play a massive part for us now. That's where the engagement came with Finance Innovation Now. I saw Kirsty I Multiply recommend Finance Innovation Now, or Marie particularly, for the work that she'd done in support of I Multiply's finance team, and I guess that was something straight away that I hooked onto. If they added value for Kirsty and her team there, then maybe this was the safe space for us to explore AI. We handle so much volume of transactions, particularly across our peak season, and in a lot of senses our team is there during peak season delivering exactly what they need to day to day just to keep the books moving, the ledger moving, so to speak. So we don't have a huge amount of value add despite our absolute best efforts in that peak season. And while that role is absolutely critical, I've got 5 really talented people in the team and I want to find the best way to put those talents to use to add value to the business. Back to that point I made around the business partnering mode and what I want from my finance team. Got a sort of finance system called iPlicit, which is a relatively new system to the market, sort of aimed at middle-sized SMEs, which is exactly where Rabbie's played and still does in that sense. Then we supplement that in the finance team with Excel and human power. And I think that's where AI presents us a massive opportunity. We're an incredibly complex business. We've got a team of 5 if you exclude me, and we handle over 90,000 sales invoices a year. Peak volumes in terms of purchase invoices are often north of 2,500 purchase invoices a month, and often from really small sole trader suppliers in remote and local parts of the country. There's a lot of complexity in there. We've got industry-specific VAT schemes, etc. to deal with. So a small team that deal with lots of transactions and lots of complexity, and a fairly basic tool set in that regard, which is where AI can make a massive difference for us. We are a team that are primed for process efficiency through automation. And a lot of that is linked to what I see as what I want from my finance team. I really believe in finance as a business partner at every level of the team. The best way to enable that is to get rid of the tasks that are repetitive and automated.